Hi, welcome to Wargame Realm. In this video I'll show you how to convert normal Primaris Outriders into Outriders on jet bikes. For this conversion you'll need a set of Primaris Outriders and 3D printed parts from Scriv Paints. I'll link the STL files for the conversion parts in the description. Here you can see I have one already assembled guy. And there are the parts. You have the front part, back jet engine, the hover pads, and the Outrider set. I really like the look of the jet bike Outriders, much better than the normal bike Marines. So, to start, you need to cut out the two main hull pieces of the bike, prepare them, and from that we'll start the conversion. Because those two parts, the front and the back jet engine, goes in place of the wheels. As you can see, this one will fit in front here perfectly. Just you need to cut out the wheel cover, and in the back the harder part to cut off the wheel to go to place this part underneath. So, cutting the front wheel is easy. You just need to score the edges around, and you can even break it off. It would be easier with the modeling saw, but I don't have one, so I'm just cutting it. After you cut the piece, just smooth the layer to be even, and proceed with every part. It's speeded up. There is no much theory in that. Just cut the parts out. For the back wheel, actually, it would be much better to do with saw or bigger knife. But yeah, I managed to do this with side cutters and cutting in the crucial parts, so I could break the wheel off. After I've done all of it, I clean the pieces again. To be honest, this is the most time-consuming part of the conversion. So I just glue the halves of the bike together. Just check if they're even, and after that, try to dry fit the parts. Here you can see the front part fits nice. There are some gaps, but the creator of the parts done it well, and later all the seam parts are hidden underneath the exterior of the bike. Always, in case of such conversions, it's better to cut less first and then add more cuts than cut too much and mess up your mini. After some additional cleaning of the pieces, I proceed to sanding the flat surfaces that are on the connection points. Just use whatever you want. You can use file. I'm using the sanding sticks from Vallejo. Besides that, I'm cleaning all the connection parts where the glue was squeezed, so everything is even. When that's done, I compare to the previous bike how I place those parts, and it is time to, in this case using super glue, since the parts are resin, printed with resin, you need to use super glue. The plastic cement won't hold it. Just mark it around and try to be as precise regarding to placing it in the middle. It will be weird if the part is off center. At least for me, I like it to be precisely in the center. So I try to compare it to like multiple parts. In here, I compare the distance left on the edges and distance between the bolter barrels. But if you're quick enough, you can move around. If you want a bit longer time, you can use the gel super glue. I add a bit more around to flow into the gaps so it's held securely. And after that, I proceed to attach the jet engine. It is the same case. Try to align it flat with the bottom of the bike part. Here you can see there is a gap that is, well, it's described in the design of the parts. There are a few pieces that you need to cover yourself, but it's underneath the bike, so I don't worry about it, because when there will be bases you won't be able to see anything. Yeah, so the first bike is done. I'll repeat the same for the second one. I really like look of the jet bikes, the design close to the new hover tanks. It's really shame that GW made only Outriders with chainswords, the plain dudes that don't have any special weapons. It would be awesome to be able to do full White Scars army on jet bikes with captains, librarians, everything, not just chapline and 3 dudes on the bike with chainswords. Special weapons would be also awesome. Really hope that in future editions they will, well, maybe not make jet bikes, but continue with the Outriders line, but expand it much more. So, yeah, going back, you see, I still I'm repeating the steps from the previous one. Here, I'm attaching again the second jet. You see the same gap in the same place. That will be constant for all of the bikes. It is worth to take your time and make sure everything fits nice, so you don't have to fill any gaps later. You'll see I'm not filling anything later, and I won't. Only thing that I probably will do will be sanding a bit of the bottom, but we'll proceed to that later. Next step, I think last step at this point, is attaching the jet engine covers. There is a groove in the back of the jet engine that this bended part fits perfectly. You just need to stick it in and try to push it in for a while so it doesn't move and get off the place it should be. If you prefer to paint minis in sub-assemblies, I think this would be a good part to leave off. There is nothing obscuring it from being glued later, so you can easily paint it separately to have easier access to the jet engine. But yeah, this is it from the first part of the 3D printed parts of the jet bike. Now it is time to finish gluing the Outriders. I won't delve really deeply into that. My process for gluing plastic minis is just first of all follow the step of the instructions, try to dry fit the minis. Those Outriders were the, I don't remember if 8th or 9th edition starter, and they were snap fit minis that there is not much theory in that. Just cut the pieces out, then remove the mold lines. I'm using backside of the X-Acto knife to scrape them off. You can use sanding stick, you can use the Citadel tool for that, whatever you like. Then I use Tamiya extra thin cement to glue the parts together. This is the quick setting one. I prefer the slower one, but yeah, this was available, so I bought this one. First, just glue the torsos of the Marines with arms holding the steering wheel to the bike. In this case, I'll be leaving off the second arm because I need to cut off the shoulder pad, but I'll talk about it later. Here, I'm adding the external parts of the jet bike. As you can see, it covers very well the connection points of the 3D printed parts and the normal ones. So the exhaust pipes cover the connection between jet engine and back of the bike, and the front armor plates covers the front 3D printed part. Here I proceed with the second bike. With those pieces of the Outriders, just be sure to remove all of the mold lines, and it's a lot of them. It's pretty old kit for the new kits, and you can see a lot of them on the leg, on the pipes, and underneath the bike. After everything is glued, just cover the contact points with plastic cement, glue it on. Here you need to push the both sides hard and apply some super glue under the exhaust pipes since they connect to the 3D printed part. So, I'm using these Outriders for my Blood Angels army, so I need to trim the shoulder pads from the chainsword arms. You could easily use decals, but I use the upgrade kit shoulder parts in all of my armies, so I want to be consistent. It is not too hard to remove shoulder parts, just remember the standard rule that not to cut less and drive it. Cut again a bit and drive it, and repeat the process until they fit nice and you don't cut too much. One of them is you have the whole arm with shoulder pad. The second one has a part of the arm in the. This one has the part of the arm on the body. So first, let's take care of this one. Just take the arm, pick side cutters, and try to cut everything around the trim of the shoulder pad. Leave the internals that are push fit to glue the arm. Try not to cut too much, but it won't be terrible because the shoulder pad will hold on the lower arm and the trim of the breastplate. When you finish all of the cuts that remove the shoulder pad and you think it's good enough, glue the arm to the body and try to fit the shoulder pad. Here I had some parts that didn't want to come off, so I used the X-Acto knife. In further parts, just try to snip small parts with X-Acto knife. That gives you a bit more control than just the side cutters. And remember, in case of these minis, you easily could use arms from any minis from the Space Marine range, either normal intercessors, the assault ones, the jump pack ones. Just you need to cut the part of the arm that is molded on the body, but it would be easy. You even could start doing some kind of conversions of a dude with plasma gun, melta gun, power fist, power sword. But since, again, we don't have any of that, I'm not adding any special weapons. So here I clean the rest of the arm from the mold marks, glue it into the mini. Of course, a lot of dry fitting if it's okay to proceed. And when it's done, just you can use the thin cement from Tamiya on placed part already. It will go in between the gaps and start the process of welding it together. Here I picked the Blood Angels shoulder pad, remove the excess material, fit it to the arm. Here you see I remove some additional pieces that are obstructing placement of the shoulder pad. And again, it can be a bit slow, tedious process, so if you prefer other arms, use other, but not to waste a material. I prefer to try to fit the original ones. Just do it slowly, methodically. Just remove small pieces of the old shoulder pad and fit the new one. Here you can see the first one ready, and now I'll proceed to do the same with the second one. Here is a bit easier, you just need to cut off the whole shoulder pad, add arm to the extending part of the arm from the body, and then either using green stuff or try to fit the shoulder pad on the extended peg. It was much easier than the previous one. So this is the last, I think, step of assembling the driver. Here you can see him with the shoulder pad attached. And now I'll proceed to add the grav pads underneath the jet bikes. The first thing to do is to sand the internal side to make them easier to fit on the flat parts of the bike. Then I compared it again to the first mini that I've made to place them the same way. The front one can attach around the grooves that are underneath the body. They fit perfectly, like there is no move back and forth. Just place a little bit of super glue on around the grooves and on the bottom of the side panel. Place the grav plates and make sure they're even and sticking to the both connection points. Then add the second one and make sure they're even, not moved in position between each other. Then you can proceed to the back ones. There is no strict point that they will fit in one place, but just I usually take the brake part between the grav plates and one of the grooves of the exhaust and try to line it up with each other, so all of them between all of my bikes are in the same position to keep them constant. That's the only part that can maybe go wrong in here, but I think it's pretty easy process. Here again is a part that you could glue later if you want to paint the mini in sub-assemblies, because as with the Primaris grav tanks, this can obstruct your painting, because this won't be in the color of the bike, it will be probably some kind of black or metallic. But I think in case of bikes it's so small, the distance is so small that there won't be any paint showing from underneath, but well, we'll see when I'll be painting them. Probably I'll regret my decision, but yeah, let's leave it as is. And now I'll add the grav plates to the second bike using the same process. So yeah, that's probably it from the conversion part. Now to make them fit a bit more to my army, I will use the new Blood Angels upgrade kit to add some bits that are hanging from them to represent the army more. Unfortunately, the blood drop with wings is a little bit too big to attach to the sides of the bike. It's usable for the tanks, but not the smaller minis. This step is purely aesthetic. To be honest, you don't have to do this if you play any vanilla Marines or your own chapter. That's up to you, whatever you put around your minis. Here, same step as usual. Cut the pieces out, trim the mold lines. Using plastic cement, attach it to the bike, or using super glue, attach it to the 3D printed parts. And that is it within the converting part of the minis. Again, I have to give big shout out to Scriv Paints. I link his 3D STL files in the description below, because he made a very good job. Also, his Raven Guard minis are painted amazing. So yeah, check out the description for the links. And yeah, I'll proceed to glue the decorations on the minis, and we'll show you the final result. In further videos, I will try to do the Grav Jet Primaris ATV to fit the bikes. We'll be doing my Blood Angel Desert bases as a second or third tutorial, and the last one will be painting of them. But yeah, here you can see there is a sergeant, helmetless with the shield on the shoulder pad, with some additional Blood Angel marking on the back. And here are the two guys that are now just with the shoulder pad and some kind of hanging decoration. They will look much better when painted and on bases. So, thanks for watching, hope this tutorial helped you. If you want to do it yourself, you need only the 3D printed parts from Scriv Paints. Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video, probably related to either making Primaris ATV or basing the Outriders. See ya, bye!